So we're kicking off now. My name is Sam. I'm just going to do a quick intro about why we're here today and what we're here to do. We do events like this a lot, but we do workshop like this less, right? So this is more like a workshop where we get to like learn stuff from the experts, right? You get from the bird eye view. So I have a lot of expectation for this event, but I'm just going to do like a quick run through about Startup Grind and why we're here. So this community is called Startup Grind. So Startup Grind is the world's largest community of founders, investors, creators, and everything in between. So we do this through our local event as well as our flagship conferences, collectively reaching over 4 billion individuals worldwide. So the same way there's a chapter, Startup Grind chapter here, we've got Startup Grind chapters in almost every major cities in the world, across the world, about 600 cities. So there's a Startup Grind chapter in Manchester, there's a Startup Grind chapter in the Isle of Wight, there's a Startup Grind chapter in Aberdeen, Glasgow, in Lagos, Nigeria, where I used to live, in San Francisco, even in China, right? And we feature London entrepreneurs every month on our non-profit activities. On stages like this, we've had founders like the founder, CEO of Revolut. We've had like the former CEO of Google. We've had Tom Bloomfield from Monzo, because we've been running for the past 10 years, and that's why we've been able to like bring founders like that over. We do this at every of our event. We talk about our values. These are our community values. These are what guides us, and these are what brings us together. One of our values is that we help others, and another value is that we give first. So you give first before you collect anything from anyone. If you're having a conversation, instead of chatting to them to say, oh, this is what I do, this is what I need help with, you ask them, how can I help you? How can I be of service to you? And another value pillar is like education, and also making friends, making connection, and also inspiring others. So those are our values. If you live by our values, you're welcome at any of our events at any time. And this is our team. That's Prem, that's me, and this is Matt. Matt, say hi. I've got Enino over there. I've also got Kelechi. Kelechi's on our way. She's running a bit late. But we've got an amazing team, a very small team. We try to pull events like this together every month. Different style of event. Last month we had... who was at our event last month? Who was there last month? Nobody. Okay. Oh, yes. Yeah, we had an amazing event last month where we brought all of London together for a pitch battle. We had a representative, like a winner from London, go represent us in San Francisco. So yeah, we do events like that every month. And this is what our agenda looks like today. We've got networking. Although I didn't see many people networking, I saw a lot of people sitting on their chairs. And we did this is the introduction that I'm doing right now. We've also got a presentation where we're going to call Anna on stage. Then we'll do Q&A. We also got networking and drinks, if we still have drinks. Yeah, so you get the rest of the drinks. And the event ends. So that's how our event is going to run. We won't do any... Yeah, you're taking pictures so you can hold me accountable. Yeah, so events like this happen because of our partners. So we work with some incredible partners across London to help us push out events like this regularly. These are some of our partners out Kennedy. We've also got Carter and HubSpot for startups. I'm going to be sharing a bit about them later on. And we also have partners. Partners are people that say they support us in kind with venues like this. For example, we've got Second Home, we've got Supreme Factory, and Meetup Video, Peter from Meetup Video over there supporting our event to help us have a successful event. And I'm going to be calling Matt up on stage to talk about our calendar. Let's give him a round of applause, please.
Don't know if that's yeah, it is working. So yeah, as you may have seen, I work with Startup Grind in the team here. I also work and run the startup team at law firm Howard Kennedy. So we are a full service law firm. But one of the I think quite unique things is that we're working with founders from like day one of them setting up the business. But we also work with funds. We raised over 800 million for VC funds last year. that gives us a really good relationship with these funds. And so we've been able to bring founders directly to the funds to help them with their fundraising efforts. We've done about 10 mil this financial year, helping founders that we're working with to raise funds. So it's one of those bits of value add that we deliver. It's not just all about, I know a lot of founders, look and say my law firm always over promises and under delivers. That's one of the things that we try and avoid at every time. So we have a fixed, we provide a discount for 3 years on all of your fees. We write off an awful lot of time, much to the frustrations of our ops team. We provide office space at our London Bridge office. We're running large-scale events as well. We bring founders that we work with out to Slush, to San Francisco, doing loads of really, really cool things that I think are not very traditional law firm in terms of vibe. And yeah, if anyone wants to speak, I'd be happy to have a chat with you afterwards. So yeah, thanks a lot and enjoy the event.
Thank you. Thank you. So, thank you, Matt. I'm going to go into the next one. So we've got Carter. Anyone from Carter in the room today? No. So I'm just going to run through Carter very quickly. So Carter is the largest equity management solution. So they work with startups to be able to help you manage all of your equity needs. So those are startups from pre-seed to Series A or even and beyond. So one of the solutions is the private management and ownership. So they also work for funds and the like. So they've got like a package for Startup Grind members. Like if you're a founder in our community, you get to get some discounts on their services. So we also share that in our newsletter. So if you keep your eyes peeled for our next newsletter, you get their program. So yeah, I also want to talk a bit about HubSpot. So last week, how many of us attended our last webinar with HubSpot? Good. Yeah, thank you. I also did, so making us too. So we had about... yeah, it was really fantastic. We had about... I just want to plug you to resource that you might need because this is an AI event. I assume that many of us are already in the AI space. So HubSpot, we did an event on sales, like doing sales with AI. So, if you're building a company right now, you need to be able to have an advantage over the traditional or the existing or the status quo. So HubSpot taught us how to use their tool with other AI tools to do better sales, like better sales operations. And the video is live on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and just search the tattoo or you just search Startup Grind London, you should be able to see that video. So we also have all of our resources recorded on YouTube. So this event, for example, is going to be on YouTube, so you can go back to watch it and learn from it. So thank you very much. And without further ado, are you guys ready? Ready? Drum rolls. Good. So I'm going to be calling up on stage our speaker for today, Anna Makova, Head of Marketing, Synflow. Let's give her a round of applause as she comes on the stage.
Hey. Is it working?
Yeah, it is working.
Is it working or I should be just loud?
No. It's good.
Hi, everyone. I'm so pumped to be here today. I'm Anna. I'm Head of Marketing at Synflow AI. Today we have 3 parts of the presentation. I would like to share with you my learnings, what was done by me to get as a company ranked in AI search. Number 2 would be like a workshop. So I would like you to get your AI note taker, notes up to actually think about your business and your startup. And number 3 would be some giveaways and a free audit as a present. So we have 3 things. So I hope you're all excited. Just to start, who is their startup founder here? Raise your hands. Oh my God. So everyone, almost, yeah? Super cool. Okay. So I'm sure you will be very familiar with the journeys that I'm going through as well. So I usually come as a full-time marketing hire at a startup and make sure that it all goes to success. So with this one, Synflow, we just raised Series A, and I put all the sweat and tears into raising that with Excel. And before that, raised for a startup with Sequoia. for the video generative company called GAN, all the way to making a company unicorn, which is Pixart photo and video app. If you're into photo editing, that's one of the most recommended mobile apps. And today, basically, I want to share my main pillar, product marketing and PR. Today, we just got nominated by AI Disruptors in San Francisco, and like we're on NASDAQ today, so super excited. So that's basically what I do, like a lot of stuff to actually make startups successful, and making from something which is smaller, maybe just getting started, to all the way up to hopefully unicorn and so on. So starting with a little quiz. David and Goliath, let's say ChatGPT versus Google, like battle. Let's think about how many billions of requests are done daily on ChatGPT. Let's guess. 5 billion. Anyone else? 500 a day. Think about it. So there are 8 billion people on this planet. How many requests are done a day? Say, you already used it twice today? Okay. Yeah, I'm sure we all already done 1 billion so far, but like 5? Are we sticking to that? Versus Google. What do you think about Google?
Google's got more users than we've got people on the planet.
A day, yeah, exactly, yeah. A day, then it would be how much? 20. Okay, good guess. These are the numbers approximately, which is impressive, right? It's only been around like 3 years, and it's already like almost 7 times, yeah, a bit smaller yet, but this is where basically the reason we just were chatting, it's a gold rush, right? Like the early you get into platforms like Perplexity and ChatGPT, the better it is for your startup, for your business to actually get all the way. And even now, like I'm sure almost everyone here uses ChatGPT more than Google, right? It's almost like my assistant, my Google therapist, whatever. Like we all use it for all multiple sources. So question here, right? Like you probably have seen those terms somewhere in like LinkedIn. What is like AEO? Geo is like a new SEO, stuff like that. So those terms are answer engine optimization, like kind of standing out from a traditional SEO and geo. It's about generative engine optimizations. It's about those sources like Perplexity and other AI search engines, which are different from Google. And the formula here is one thing to remember, and like what your startup should be is this formula. It's not very like clear, but it's EEAT, like what you need to be building as a company founder so that you get ranked for experience, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. Like 4 things that basically the new AI search is based on. So you need to, even though you're small, you just started, right? Like we have the whole lifetime to become like an experienced and expert company, and like make sure that your company is recommended by those searches, right? Like ChatGPT is only going to grow up, right? Like in terms of numbers, get to those numbers like Google. And what we need to do, we need to start today building your expertise, your experience, and authority within the search space. Like it's almost similar to Google, but it's a new age. So the next thing is, let's think and let's discuss what I've been working on, and I wanted to share what I was doing for the last year to build those numbers on ChatGPT. We get approximately 1 sales lead a week from ChatGPT right now. So it's like basically building that. And I think those leads are much more valuable than coming from like Google or just a search or like ads, because those people are already like AI native. Basically, they do searches on ChatGPT. They probably are more like targeted persona for you as a business. So they kind of like advance in their journey. So I would value those leads that are coming from ChatGPT to your website or to your LinkedIn are more valuable, maybe 2-3 times versus like traditional search. So number 1, what is important for question now? What is important to be on Google, like what do we need to work on as startup founders? Who is king? Huh? Content. Content is king, absolutely. Even though we live in a new realm of AI search, the rules are similar to like what Google does. We need to work on content. But content a bit different from what was done before. Like let's say 5 years ago, people would Google like best CRM, right? And then it would be HubSpot, Salesforce, like everybody will be bidding on like a specific keyword. Right now, like the landscape of search changed. You go to ChatGPT and you say like, I started a business on legal, setting up like legal entities for the UK in London. Or I want to start a business in the UK. Like, where should I register that? I'm gonna do like I will be like a solo founder. So your request on ChatGPT will be much longer than just best CRM or like best registration platform in the UK. You probably will give like a very conversational kind of driven approach, and that's what you need to think about, like what kind of content you need to create for your business, like how people will search for you in ChatGPT. It's going to be very conversational, kind of lengthy, and a lot of like keywords, but in a structured way. And for that, what I've done, I was building like a lot of long form, detailed content that I would put on the blog post and across different landing pages, so that that content will directly answer questions to what people would ask. For example, like whether I will, this is specifically was about my business, a lot about like voice AI and like telephony, and actually very complicated and very technical. But then still, nevertheless, it doesn't matter whether it's like a pizzeria shop or like a co-working in London. It's still all about like more lengthy, more conversational search queries that you need to think of and like put the answer content on your digital surfaces, I call it, because obviously not. You probably may have an app. You may think about Apple stores and all this other surfaces. Or if you have a physical business, let's say this co-working, you would need to think about maps and like other places where your business will be listed. Number 2, if you ever done any website work before, you probably be familiar with the search like word like metadata, or like how you structure content on your pages, right? Like it's whenever you publish a page, you need to have like H1, H2, like metadata descriptor, and that is extremely important actually for specifically ChatGPT and like LLM-based search engines. It's because like it basically crawls your website and like it gets only the data, right? Like this metadata is extremely important, and you would need to run like your not basically like headers and descriptions. You need to run it and check if it's like rich enough with the keywords, and also put it in a structured way. Like here's an example of the content that I put together. Like those are very important, like relevant keywords, and those are use cases I listed and put them onto the footer of the website, because I know that those bots don't only crawl like the whole website structure data, they also do footer. Like there's so much that where you can put all this content. Next one is FAQs and like other form of like long content. It's basically answering exactly what your potential customer can ask in ChatGPT. For example, like this is a bit more like keyword heavy or like brand keyword heavy, but obviously it could be very, very different, like especially within your category. For example, one of the main use cases for us is AI receptionist. So I made sure I have like several content pieces that addresses like, what is AI receptionist? How can I set up a receptionist for my business that works 24/7? And kind of like think about all multiple like questions that potentially your user can ask ChatGPT. And what's good is actually you don't need to write it anymore yourself. You can actually use ChatGPT to like feed all that content to that generator, and like bam, like it's all ready for you, right? Like the important thing though, it's obviously to put a good input data, like so that it doesn't create some things that actually not true, right? Like, because we all know it can do that, and obviously you need to check the content that ChatGPT created for you, but this is kind of like an easy hack, like longer FAQ content. Next one is, this is super important. You need to know, as a startup, who are your top 3 competitors. Like, that's very, very important, because obviously if you don't have a competition, you don't have a business, right? Like, you need to know who is your main like websites that produce the content, and then what you can do, you create like content that's very like competitor keyword driven. Like, for example, alternative to and competitor name. You can even Google it yourself for your business right now and see like who is doing well on SEO actually, because they're number 1, number 2, like organic listings, that will be like your strongest SEO competitors. I hope that makes sense now, like real quick check the room. Yeah, like, so that both blog posts and landing pages specifically, and that is probably number 1 lead generator for us, is actually this competitor content, because mostly, especially if you're a smaller startup, other companies, they probably have more resources, they're stronger in terms of search, and then they have more resources to create that content, right? So when you do that exercise, then you can identify who's actually from your competition is doing well in terms of both SEO and like actually coming up on ChatGPT. Next one, as you remember that formula, right? Like EEAT, was that? Yeah, was the trustworthiness, right? And obviously trustworthy, you cannot scream like, I'm the best here, right? Like, it should be coming from a third-party tool. And if it's a software business like yours, that should be coming from one of the platforms that recommends software tools. And the top ones are here. I'm mostly working with G2 and Trustpilot. I didn't have time to do the other 2, but I want to. G2 is basically referencing we've done this trick on the platform basically. For everyone who leaves a review on G2, I give free credits to after they submit a review. We only give like 50 minutes of call time, and actually that's a massive like review generator for me. Like, I used to do like asking friends to like leave me a G2 review. That's just too much work. Ideally, you can put it within the onboarding of your product. Maybe like just leave as a review, or if you had a successful transaction with like customer support, just like thank you after they thank you for like helping me. They just ask, can you please leave a review on like G2 or Trustpilot, whatever platform you like invest in. I would just say like do one as like the main, and then like build maybe on the other. G2 for me works right now the most, because with that onboarding product, we managed to get maybe like about 300 reviews, and then G2 became like one of the main kind of sources for recommendation in terms of the third-party tools. So that's important, and obviously you need to have like check which of the competitors also have like better profiles on Trustpilot and G2. But those resources, they are important. After some time, actually, you have to pay to have like, I think, it comes down to about 1K a month almost. It gets at some point pricey, these tools, but in the beginning, it's free, like all until some point. Next major part, and I think this is super important, like this is almost, I would say it's hard to do on your own. Usually I recommend getting like an agency, a lot of them that will help you to get into listicles. So are you familiar with the word like domain rating? Basically like checking your domain rating. And like listicles are those websites that usually have articles like top 5 AI tools, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right. Like they have, that's exactly like a listicle would do, right? And then you would never know what kind of website it is. You just need to check their domain rating. And if it's good, usually we buy the listicles with the rating above 70, so that it's actually like important for us. And we pay about like $50 to $200 per listicle. And that's something that ideally is outsourced to like an SEO agency, but that's very important to, once you have especially like some budget for promotion, to invest that money into building that listicle kind of listicles for your startup to be recommended. And beyond those listicles, I would say there are 3 categories. It's some popular sources. I'm right now building a Wikipedia page for the business, because obviously you cannot just come and create like a Wikipedia page about yourself or like your business. It takes some time to be credible and like maybe get some PR articles first, and then you can do Wikipedia. YouTube, you can actually start building it right away if it's relevant for your marketing strategy. In terms of the media and PR articles, that's actually the screenshots that I got yesterday from like to check what articles recommend Synflow in the search. And obviously that's also an investment from your business that you need to do into PR. And that's not that is built like one day. It's not something that you can also go and buy. Unfortunately, you need to like think also about your media and PR strategy. If you have any questions, yeah, I can absolutely help you kind of define. I know it's always not so easy to start like thinking about those long-term things, especially like PR, but that's absolutely important. And it's not only about raising investment or having a major milestone. It could be like building your profile as a thought leader. And the third one is social media. Like for me, like for Synflow right now, it's important to have LinkedIn and Reddit. But I have another, I think, list here. Obviously, it's not just LinkedIn and Reddit. It could be all the way depending on your business, right? Like it could be, for example, if you're more into software, it could be Stack Overflow, right? Like it's still important as a platform. Could be Medium, Reddit, all the way until I think end of September was actually giving really good results. Right now, I think they changed the algorithm like a couple weeks ago, and now Reddit is not helping that much with the source, but still it is giving results. And I think a good and bad thing about this whole industry is that everything changes literally every other week. I've been doing this for 10 years, marketing, and sometimes I feel like it's a day one again. I'm an intern, you know, like they changed the algorithm again, and then I had to do all things all over again. But obviously, for some businesses, it could be X, more like if you're ICP, like ideal customer profile, let's say, is more like male audience, that could be X as a social media. For B2B SaaS, obviously that's LinkedIn is like a #1 social media. But if it's more B2C, obviously it could be TikTok, Instagram Reels, and so on. So like it's very, very tailored to your business and business lane. Yeah, so content, again, like a summary, content is king, right? We need to produce really important, like keyword-heavy content for your website, for your digital services. Yeah, I know I talked a lot. Things to keep in mind, yes, one thing is that everything changes. And it's not like kind of set in stone, said and done. It's like a continuous work on the internet to build trustworthiness and like your presence online. It's not like you just produce like a set of articles once and like forget about it. It's almost like you need to do it literally every month and see how you like track performance. And yeah, like don't fall into this easy things. Like sometimes I get some emails like, we're gonna fix your SEO, or like buy this list and it's gonna work for you. Like those tricks, like silver bullets, basically don't exist in this business. It's not like somebody can stuff your keyword and name somewhere and then it will be done. Like ChatGPT is created by very smart people, right? Like you cannot trick those algorithms basically with your keyword stuffing. It may work once, but then you will be flagged for some I don't know, policy, and then they will even remove your forever. So never do any like kind of tricky things. So think about reputation and trustworthiness first. Yeah, and it does take time. Unfortunately, there is no such thing like do it today, right now, and it's all done. So think about that. Right now, we're moving to workshop time, which is super exciting. I don't want to just talk myself. I want you to pull up like your notes, or like I know some of you have like notebooks, and we'll do like a couple of exercises related to your business. So number one, let's think about the top 3 keywords that you want your business to be associated with. Like as an example for me, in our case, we have top 3 keywords, which is AI phone calls, voice AI agent, and AI contact center. Those are like my bread and butter, basically. If I'm searched and like found through those keywords, that's super important. So related to your business, let's take a minute and write down what could be those top 3 keywords that you like your business, for example. Yeah. Yeah, and ideally it's a combination of words, right? Like it's 2, 3 words, or like something that could be like a longer query. You can maybe add a location right now if it's important for you, if it's a physical business, or like app, or anything related. But more generic wise, like what first thing a person would Google within your industry? Okay, I will come to you.
Let's go. So we're building a platform for prompt tracking, and top 3 keywords would be prompt tracking, AI brand visibility, and AI analytics.
Okay, good. What about any industry? So do you want to maybe tailor it like AI visibility for like startup?
SaaS,
SaaS or B2B SaaS? Or
B2B SaaS, yeah.
Okay.
Let's operate in that market.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to give us money for other industries, we'll pay for it.
Okay,
We don't
that could be
discriminate,
like a
don't
longer.
discriminate.
That's a query for a VC, like a tailor to ICP. What about you?
Branding agency, brand identity design, and broadcast design.
Branding agency for?
So mainly for broadcasters and TV networks and channels, but across sectors. So we're struggling between niching down just to use broadcast within our terms and top words, or whether we expand out to just be branding agency for all sectors. So it's hard to know when to niche and when to keep kind of wider.
I would absolutely go a bit niche. I like that you have this as a very good sector, I think, especially because broadcast is like experiencing very transformational times. I think that's absolutely like a good thing to do. But thanks for sharing. I think that I hope everyone comes out of this workshop with this top 3 keywords for your business that you will think and like start developing content around, right? Because we can do it on the website, on LinkedIn, and other places. Next one. Write a longer query. Like imagine you are a ChatGPT user, like what you would write to be landed on your website. What would be that potential combination? It's basically a question usually, right? Like this is the ones that I get ranked for, like for example, top rated AI voice agent software for startups. Best value for money AI call automation platforms. So as you can see, those are quite long and quite precise. So for yours, it could be, I'm looking for AI visibility tool for my software company. What would I use? Something like that. I'll give you a minute and then put someone on the spotlight. Do we have any volunteers in the audience? Yeah, great. Thank you.
No worries. So prompt would be, I'm in India and I want to trade global markets. How do I trade without paying any taxes or blah, blah, blah. So that would be my first prompt. And if there is any other restriction, how would I find a way around from that restriction? Probably these are the 2 or 3 prompts that I would give to ChatGPT.
Say it again. I'm in India and I want to trade what?
Global markets. Global markets. Say like NASDAQ or S&P 500.
So it's like fintech basically related.
Yeah. So I'm building a global trading platform for emerging markets. Currently, like a lot of emerging markets have a lot of capital restrictions, so they can't really trade global markets. So without moving their capital out of those countries, we are creating a synthetic method where an individual in China, India, of the emerging markets, they can actually trade global markets without moving their capital.
Yes, that sounds amazing. I'm originally from Russia, so absolutely, I know what you mean. Yeah, but in terms of the I think everything you just said is actually like a really good prompt for you creating the content, especially expanding on emerging markets like India. Maybe you want to include other. And the good thing is you can create one, like I'm based in brackets India, like I'm based in like another like South Africa, and like I don't know other countries that could have similar, and then reuse that and see like what's the search volume there, and like use that. Yeah, I like that. Any other volunteer? Here you go. Over there. Yeah, we have a mic.
All right, that's serious. All right. So we do online team building for distributed teams. And so I put together 3 long-form queries. One is, what games can I play online with my remote team? Are there any online team building websites where remote teams can play? Or how do I boost engagement of my remote team?
No, I love all of them, I think, actually. Do we also want to like prompt number 4, specify like what the number of people, like, or something like even a bit step back, like I have a remote team of 40 employees across 3 countries. How do I want to make something fun for them to increase the morale? What would you recommend?
So you would really describe the word distributed team or remote team, because people don't come with the word, with the ready-made words on.
Yeah, even like basically dumb down the query, right? Like literally saying the problem, like from the perspective of like a head of business or head of HR. Like I have a distributed team of 60 people. What would you recommend? Like what website, games would you recommend? Something like that.
But if I go very specific, like I do understand what you're saying, right? So if I say I have a distributed team of 6 people across different continents, does that mean that anything that is any wording that is different by even just one word from this query will be excluded from?
No, it will not. Plus, you can always have different content, like for smaller remote teams below 10 people, this recommendation. So you basically can expand based on that prompt, because obviously there are different things that you can do when you have 50 people versus like 1,000 people, right? Like ideally you would just replicate and have like different sorts of content that will ultimately reference your platform as a solution. Yeah. Kind of also think what would be the best. It all comes down to ICP, ideal customer profile. And actually, I used to live in California, and we were playing those games remotely with across like different states mostly. And I am familiar with those games that you would play during COVID as like remote teams. So I would even go like even further down, like is it for like what geographic location? Because that's what people would search for. Like they would probably prompt something like location as well. So if you are like geo-specific, potentially you would like to have like a longer form content.
My initial ICP is UK companies, right? But at some point,
Then focus on
it will be
UK.
global. So
Yeah.
do I need to start very local if my initial
Yeah, I
ICP
would
is
say focus on location, London, UK. You can add like maybe you can Ireland, for example, right? So that you win that niche, and that's actually also good for you raising investments and actually being very like your value proposition is very clear. I think so. Maybe England, and you can do also EMEA as a good kind of, because that's what a lot of companies that have distributed teams in here, they also hire someone from like Amsterdam and other like neighboring countries. Yeah, thank you. So guys, how are you feeling? Like, do we have those things listed for you? Anyone needs help? Okay, next. Think of 3 platforms where you can post that content. Let's say you have thought about your 3 keywords, you know the prompts, and you really need to be like, I don't know, in the listicle, for example, like top 5 AI search tools. And there is Peak, Profound, and what's your brand name? Brand Vision, for example. Let's think about each business of yours, right? Like where you would like to put that content. It could be a media source that is a very trustworthy. Not sure about, for example, for India, it really helped us to be in the listicle on India Times. That helps us a lot, especially from inquiries from Southeast Asia. That helps a lot. Think about some of the resource of like media that you need to be in. And that's not super hard to get into that platform, for example.
Quick question. When you say like media, is it like more like ads or what do you mean?
No, it's more like article that's on their website, more like the actual news article or listicle, which is not saying like paid content. It says it just like top 5 new AI tools, for example. It could be like a news article, and you could be one of those top 5 tools, like Brand Vision, for example. Yeah. So it's not an ad. No. Because ads, they come and go, right? Like as long as you're not paying, you're gone, right? What we need here is to build like green, long-lasting content, right? Like we invest into that, and then we are basically forever there. And if the link is good, then it will continuously building that trust and will generate users visibility and potential leads to your website. That's what we need to think about. We're not here into like any ad content. Go ahead.
If we already have content, because for example, already have a blog on the website and content on LinkedIn, and I'm sure that we all have.
Yeah.
Can we just edit it in a way that it will serve point number 1 and point number 2?
Yes,
Or
yes,
does
yes.
it have to be completely new content?
No, absolutely. You know, it's not, but you just need to do an audit and see if actually that content is being surfaced by ChatGPT and I have a couple of tool recommendations that can help you see if your like what queries, basically what prompts are helping surface that content. Okay, do we have any volunteers for this one? For top 3 sources that Q1, end of Q1, in 6 months, you're there.
Probably like Wikipedia, and then articles, probably like ET, Economic Times, Times of India, of the world, and probably even Forbes, and then certainly like LinkedIn as well as Reddit.
Okay. Sam, maybe you? You want to go? Okay, this beautiful lady over here.
Me. Probably YouTube and Forbes and LinkedIn. And you also said Reddit. You said Reddit was a really good source.
Yeah, what's your business? Can you expand a little bit more?
AI video, AI film creation.
Uh-huh. Yeah, YouTube for sure, 100%. Let's think, maybe TikTok. Any TikTok creation, like content creations that you do?
Not at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
It also depends on like if it's your B2C or B2B more.
Yeah, B2B.
B2B? Mm-hmm. Reddit, it's still working fine. It's just like recently they changed algorithm a bit, and like Reddit is not as like content, how to say, heavy, like score heavy as it used to be. So it's all changing a bit, but absolutely YouTube, LinkedIn. Think about also some media like listicles. Let's say you can start by Googling or ChatGPT like top 5 video platforms for I know, generative video creation, for example, right? Yeah. And then you see what kind of articles recommends other competitors of yours, and then you can check like where you need to be in the future.
I mean, you've made me think more about the TikTok, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
we should think about it. TikTok for sure, I think,
Yes.
for sure. Because especially if you get into trends, then it can help you a lot. Speaking of competitors, write down 3 competitors you will base your content off, or like that comes down. Maybe it could be like a household name when we think about your business. So obviously, if we speak about like video AI, that Synthesia comes down right away. It's like already has its headspace. For branding agency, for what could it be? For broadcasters, not sure. I don't know if CNN or like BBC has a specific agency. Obviously, I work for DDB, so I have like DDB, BBDO, Gilvey, like this kind of big brand names. But I'm sure there's.
Slightly different space, yeah. There are competitors. I mean, we broke away from our main competitor, which would be my old agency that I used to work with for 40. But that feels a bit too close for comfort to write a blog post that literally says, like, our company versus the one that we used to work for and with, because it feels really like
Is
we're
there
attacking them.
NDA? Is there anything and stuff?
I mean, just like I'm mates with loads of people there, and I didn't leave, in a blaze of glory. It was a nice ending, and it feels really attacking to go out against maybe one competitor, because it's a slightly different. It's a very small industry where everyone kind of knows each other, and what goes around comes around. So I wouldn't want to kind of.
Well, you can reference them as a top 3 agencies for broadcasters, and then they will be number 1. It's okay. Yours will be a second, and the third you can also put something that's within the industries, like which you actually trust and like. Yeah. It's not, obviously they're competitors, but we are not in this business where we all kind of partially friends, if they grow, you grow. So like in that sense, you can create a content which is like alternative to the name of the agency, and that they're top 3 best branding agencies for broadcasters. And then you can absolutely link that company website, and it's not going to harm you in a way. So it's like you can start this way, but you can also reference like stronger competitors and something that's closer related to your niche.
Yep, thank you. I'll think about that.
You'd be surprised how many companies have the same concern.
Yeah.
That you just voiced. We hear it all the time. I also run an agency. We hear it all the time, and it really depends on the industry. People don't want to get personal, but it's one of the best lead generation content you can produce, and it really depends on the industry. If the industry is litigation driven, they'll go after you with a cease and desist letter. It doesn't mean anything.
We've definitely already stolen business from them, because people come to people, so they've come to us directly and chosen to work with us, and that's felt already a little bit awkward. But it's like literally writing it in words and putting it on your website feels quite different to someone coming to you and choosing to work with you. So
it's a thorn in your rose.
Yeah.
It's so good, but depends on how much appetite you have for business. Well, if you go to big SaaS,
Too nice.
but if you go to HubSpot or any big SaaS platform, you'll see they work together on content like that.
Yeah.
So you'll see Pipedrive versus HubSpot on HubSpot's website, and then you go to Pipedrive and they'll have the same, because they're targeting different audiences, so they can separate it too, and then they also read out everyone that's better for Pipedrive. You can just go to that side. So it's a great content.
Yeah. I think this is a really great conversation, because maybe we all need to think about what can we serve better than the leading players. So even if you are name dropping them, you're going to be offering a special service, which means you are technically better for those customers that you're highlighting. So then it's not that you're giving them customers, you're just using them as almost clickbait to find you.
Yeah,
And
absolutely,
also,
absolutely
as a
right.
ranker as well, if they're really big and you compare yourself to them, you'll definitely get those cookie points.
Yeah.
But at the end, you don't have to be big, you just have to be different. And
Yeah.
you explain how different you are to them. That creates a lot of value to whoever the customer is, because you're helping them segment the market and find what they need to find.
Yeah, exactly. Just look at it as a bigger pie. And portion of that pie is yours, right? Like obviously, it's better maybe to have a smaller piece of like a large pie versus like dominate the really small like kind of target market. So it's always good to have like a stronger competitors that you kind of look up to. You can reference them, but obviously think about your value proposition and that positioning, and make sure that is inserted into your prompt and inserted into your content. And then even you can use ChatGPT to generate that as long as the prompt is right and it's based on your value proposition and your positioning.
Sorry.
Yeah,
May I ask for a question?
of course.
It's actually regarding the previous one, the platforms. Do you recommend to use B2C platforms like Reddit or YouTube or even TikTok for B2B businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, we're right now in the B2B space. Reddit is absolutely helping me to build that. You asked also YouTube. YouTube is absolutely, as a reference, is super strong. It's top 5 for my traffic to the website is actually coming. Number 5 or 6 is actually YouTube. And it's not just your content, it's actually being recommended by influencers that create content. And they actually do that like, let's compare the 3 systems to create videos, and like I'm gonna run and tell you like what is the best experience, and they will reference you and like the ways they find you is through search, right? So YouTube absolutely is good one to like, especially trying to work with smaller and upcoming influencers so that they recommend you. And then did you ask about the third one? TikTok. Yeah, I used to do a lot of like for B2C brands. I think it's still like more B2C lane, like Instagram and TikTok, in my opinion. And with Pixar, we've done like even a promotion with Kim Kardashian and like really, really big influencers. And that helped a lot for brand building. For B2B, if you have additional resources, I would say, yeah, or maybe if it's a very, like, let's say, video-specific business like yours, I would definitely explore Reels and TikTok. But what's your business? It depends on what your business is, I guess.
It's synthetic respondents, so it's AI platform to speed up market research.
I would say probably more on YouTube, but less. I don't think people. Yeah, I mean, they all say that. Yeah, when you scroll at night, you probably will see like a TikTok recommending your business. That could be a use case, but if you have limited resources, which we all do, right? Like I probably would not go right away there. I would focus on something that for sure will like work for your business, and it's more like I think more recommendation, more like listicles, and more of the trustworthy maybe PR or news articles that people like your decision makers are reading and potentially can trust. That I would like focus more on that. Yeah, thank you. So we all have competitors, right? Like we listed them down. And toolkit, I think one slide of the recommendation, we can have brand search there maybe next time. So here what I use for AI, kind of like checking the prompts, and I think we can run actually queries for your startup, which is what was the name? I don't know the name, but the search for remote games, right? Like we can check what actually, if your content is being surfaced, you kind of inject your prompts into Profound, and you can see what articles are being recommended. So basically, Profound and PKI are good for that. For content writing, I use Neuron Writer. Basically, I put those top 3 keywords that I need to be referencing all the time, and I check if my H1, H2 meta description of the pages is actually ranking well on Neuron Writer. And subscription is about, I think, $50 a month. So yeah, I can probably share that with you if needed. Yeah, and then there's SEMrush and Ahrefs, like 2 platforms. I don't have Ahrefs there, but you probably heard of that too. Ahrefs and SEMrush is where you can basically map out your SEO, compared especially with the competition. So that's the platforms that I use to check the overall traffic and the overall health of the website. And presents time. I know, I hope you're all excited about that. So everybody gets a present. Like you get a present, you get a present. Everybody. I wish I was like, you being number 1 in ChatGPT, but that's coming, right? That's coming, guys. It's all coming. So we all gotta get to work. So number 1, this is a tool that I use for AI search. It's called Profound. It's pretty good. You can inject your prompts, and there is a 20% off that I asked them, and they shared that. So hopefully, play around, just see. Like there's always like a free trial as well, so you can do that. You got it right. Next one, drum roll. Peak AI. That's another tool. It's up and coming. They are based in Berlin. I think they're a bit less. They're like basically a rising champion in that space. So they, literally the co-founder recorded me a Loom video at like midnight explaining how we can improve our SEO, or like AI search. And I was like, okay, kudos. And I was like, I would recommend that tool. I'm also checking it out. It's this is a discount for you. And free audit. I want to give away free audit by me, lucky winner. So what you need to do is like, is the QR code working?
Yeah.
It's super simple. It's basically your name, email, so I can get in touch with you, and like a line about your business. It could be anything. Your name, if you have a brand name already, and then what this business is about. So I'll give a minute for you to finish, and I'm going to open a raffle website to random generate a winner. So it's not like, so it's all fair. How are we doing? Are we still typing? Yeah. Okay. I'll give you guys a minute. Think about it, like wish for success. Yeah.
Do you get prompts from your traditional analytics if, say, ChatGPT has been searching for your website? Do you get these prompts on your analytics or not?
Yeah, I check.
They've been referred.
Say it again?
If you have a Google Analytics, for example, or any other platform, are they going to show that you got queries from?
Yeah, absolutely. You will see in your Google Analytics, you will see ChatGPT is one of the sources, right? Because it usually shows you like organic traffic, direct, and then sources. It's in my case, it is YouTube, and then like Google Ads, and then right now I think number 6 is actually past ChatGPT. Past YouTube is ChatGPT. It's like source number 6, and you can see that in analytics you don't even need.
I use different analytics, but
which one do you use?
I use Matamo on my own server. It's P-Week.
I don't know that
tool. They're competitive to Google, but they're true than Google. Google does crazy stuff.
Cool. No, I haven't heard of them, but absolutely for free. Yeah, you can connect Google Analytics to your website, and you can see more or less like precise like what are the top 10 sources, and then you can like track it month by month so that you can see if actually what you're doing for ChatGPT and Perplexity is resulting in actually website visits that are coming from those AI search. And that's what I do like every month, like I'm crazy. Yeah. Even more often. Okay, I'm sensing Are we good to run?
Yeah.
Yeah? Anyone who's not finished? Done? Okay, drum roll. I'm going to turn it to you. So I put here 26 numbers. So what we're going to do, we're going to refresh like the survey. That's responses basically, yeah. Well, let's see how many. But I have 26 numbers. Like, let's see if I have Wi-Fi normally. This is the end of the workshop, so you guys just hold on. Loading responses. So I think it is working. And what I wanted to do is I want to do click to spin. So like just get a number, and then we will check who was that number. Drum roll. Número 7. Woohoo! Lucky 7. Let's see. Okay, going back to the responses. It's loading. I'm sorry. Still working? Okay, responses. I think whoever finished quite fast, typing in is probably going to win. So we'll see who it is. Sorry, it's not loading yet, but we will see. Meanwhile, I guess. Oh, okay. We see it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let's do it in these sheets. Oh my God. But we only got 13 responses, so it's good. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 1 second. Okay. Number 7 is Joanna. Real estate. Yay! I'm so excited. Then let's chat after so we can do the audit. But you mentioned it's real estate business.
Yes.
Super excited to learn about that. So yeah. Okay. Thank you guys for. But I mean, reach out. The thing is, if you have, please reach out to me. Let's connect all on LinkedIn. I would love to be the help, like a friend in this space, right? Like helping you to get visibility and just any marketing related questions. I'm open for you. So it's not just search, but it could be beyond that, right? Because search is, as we know, just part of the whole success thing, right? It's so much more, right? It is visibility, thought leadership, ads, and like building pipelines. So it's all there's so many things actually. Like even I run marketing and already have so many things to do. Like I cannot even imagine, like as a founder, you have like 20 times more of that workload. So obviously, yeah. Thanks, guys. Moving on to Q&A. How much time do we have, Sam? We have some, yeah. Okay. Joanna, let's talk later. I'm going to close this one.
Do we have a picture of how many questions? Anyone with questions? You can raise your hand so I just know. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 questions. 4. So we won't have any questions after that. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Yeah, we can take the 4
I mean, you can
questions.
always DM me, okay?
Yeah. And why I was taking the mic around is because we're recording. So if we don't put the mic there, the people watching the video won't be able to hear what we're saying. So who wants to go first? You go first.
Oh, I
no,
didn't
you
have
didn't have a
one.
question. Sorry. No.
I have a question.
Yes, you.
Thank you for the talk. Really enjoyed it. Whistle stop. So I have to go back and deconstruct it. So my question was specific about the listicles. So if you give us like one example so that we can take away. So like a name of somebody. How do we go about contacting, finding the source, and the mechanics of literally doing it?
Mm-hmm. Sure. So that's, as I said, partially it could be, best thing is to outsource that. The thing is, if you want like low budget or whatever, you want to do it yourself. The way I do it, I go to the, what I built actually myself with Zapier. Basically checking that they recommend like top voice AI tools, which is like my thing, right? Like I Googled first top 5 video generation platforms, right? Yeah. And then you can go and see what are the top websites that actually brings that listicle. You go there, you check who is the writer. If you don't know, it's not specified. Oftentimes it's specified who's the author. I go to LinkedIn and check who is in charge of that company's content strategy or like content creator or writer, and I actually DM them and like ask for link exchange. Obviously, you need to start building like your website, so it's like domain rate is higher and higher. Obviously, if you go approach today, Synthesia, they say like, bye, girl, bye. Yeah, but obviously you can go to like a smaller listicle and start building it. That's how I've done like with Zapier. Like I built like a webinar and like some content, mutual content, so we can cross-reference each other. And even those big companies like Zapier with massive like, resources, they up for that, especially if you are not competitive businesses, right? So if you approach like your number 1 or 2 competitors, they will say, girl, bye. But you need to go to the resource that's like actually their business is creating content, creating articles, and then you can even offer them, okay, like I have this content for an article about top 5 like video AI tools, and they can even publish your content. Does it answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Yeah. So like build relationship with them, and like you never know. That's always gonna help you, when you approach like a really good content writer. They can, once you build your relationships, they can reference that or your website into other articles. Yeah. But rule number 2, or like option number 2, is to work with like a SEO agency on a smaller retainer. We started with only like $500 a month to build those listicles, and that helped. And it's not like a massive amount of money. Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe I can just add that it's insanely resource and time intense.
Yeah.
So hiring an agency just makes a lot more sense.
I agree. It just like
It just takes so
yeah.
long.
And
If
you
don't
have
do it
already
yourself-
so much on your plate.
Yeah.
You probably don't want to do it yourself. But with some of the maybe heavy lifting contents things, like maybe you want to like approach those writers like more like, heavy kind of domain authority high websites, and you can approach them. But I agree with you. That's why I had to outsource that. Question number 2.
Hey, so attribution is an issue with people searching on LLMs and then coming to your website, because unlike Google, there's no link, there's no prominent link that redirects them to your website. So how do you have you found any tools or methods to attribute direct visitors to LLMs?
There is a attribution.
No,
It
but they're
does
small. I mean, I don't know how many people click on those small links. They're much smaller than Google.
Yeah, obviously same as Google, right? Like you cannot really calculate those impressions, but you can attribute the links. And yes, Perplexity, ChatGPT, like Google AI summaries, they all reference the website or like even specific link. For example, for me, it's not even main page. It's like AI receptionist page that brings like a lot of traffic from the AI search, and it's actually working pretty well. Like Google Analytics does pick up that as a source. Remember, I was saying it's right now number 6 for me as a traffic like lead gen, basically. So you get that attribution. Obviously, I get it as the last attribution link. That's the models that I use, because the other is a bit too complicated. So I think that's how we get a direct understanding whether the traffic from AI search is working or not. Yeah.
If you go to analytics and go to segments, you'll find them under referrals or organic. I don't know why they segment under those two. And that's only if they have a UTM, so it's going to be the final click attribution. And quite often they're just going to end up in direct bucket. But you can kind of see that you're getting traffic from LLMs or not getting traffic. And it's increasing in just proportion every month.
Yeah, I think as the ChatGPT grows from those 2 billion queries, I think also you can see the attribution if it's increasing or not. Alora, question number 3.
Thank you for the talk today. I think it was your second slide was where you spoke about formatting your website and kind of structuring your content in a way that optimizes. But if you're using a platform like Wix or Squarespace, or you're not building your website yourself, how can you benefit that, or can you benefit from that?
Yeah, ideally you do not. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly for that reason, we started the website on WordPress. And then just because it takes so much to do the beautiful website, especially if you want to be attractive to investors, right? You want, especially it's in the AI space, you want to look sexy, as a company. And then we moved to Webflow as a platform. So I think that's works for us. Obviously, you need to do the transition very, very carefully, but I think that's Webflow is pretty good, and I know like most of the AI companies that I consulted and I've seen, they work with Webflow. I heard also Framer is good as a second tool, and this is similar to Wix with like blog building, and Webflow is doing that as well. I didn't work recently with like Wix or like Squarespace related. I think generally it's not. Traditionally, it was not always good with SEO, and same with AI search. So I would probably withhold. I mean, you can start, obviously, your website and then transition to more like SEO/geo-friendlier platform. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I forgot the fourth person.
From the back, right?
Maybe they forgot their question. Okay, any more question?
Maybe I can ask them. Hi. Thank you so much for your presentation. So I just wanted to know about your content, because you mentioned it was on the first slide, and I believe it's one of the most important things here, right? So how are you planning this content? So do you have any content plan which you do specifically for AI search? Second one, how you work with indexation. So how often do you update the content? Because I know there's a recency bias inside of AI, because they need it to be fresh, and you are in very competitive niche. So definitely you need to update it. So maybe you can tell more. And also, just because you mentioned that you already have some pages which generate you the sales and also the leads that you mentioned. So you got AI receptionist, I think you mentioned. Maybe also you have pricing or something. Maybe you can tell us more about those kind of pages and the content which you build, because I think this is one of the main things for AI.
Yeah, exactly. So we started from, remember, top 3 keywords that your business needs to be associated with, right? Like based on those top 3 keywords, you need to think like what kind of content you need to have in terms of like landing pages. And I recommend you creating like a messaging doc, which is specifically outlines your value proposition of your business and what is a unique like things that you offering. Could be like a better service or like a niche thing, like what you're mentioning, like we're better than Synthesia because we're really nailing down like learning and development use case, and have that. And in addition to like competitors, like why we thought about the top 3 competitors, because we need to write down specifically what distinguishes you from the competition and have that as an outline, because how are you going to produce that many pages, right? Like you need to feed, let's say you use ChatGPT for content generation, or Writer or whatever tool there is, or like Claude, you would still, it's better to feed that messaging doc as a starting point, like clearly outlining who's your competitors, what's your proposition, and saying like I want to be ranked for these words, and like create that content and those landing pages. So I would recommend both landing pages and blog posts, and then reusing that for like listicles and other. Always have like a boilerplate, like one paragraph about that summarizes your business, your keywords, and like what you actually do. If you go to Synflow AI website, that's in the footer. I have it like directly in the footer, like one blurb that I want all LLM search crawlers to take as a summary. And in terms of content update, exactly like we were on the slide, like it's never set and done in stone. Like after you do all of this thing, all of the things, you need to do it basically again. You cannot just submit that content once and just, okay, phew, I've done all this blog posts and like stuff. It's good for maybe, I would say at least like once a quarter. It needs to be refreshed, because guess what? Competitors are working on the products too. They are updating the offering, right? Like probably releasing some new cool features. And obviously your content could be outdated. It will not be sourced anymore. You need to go back and like update that messaging doc, like check if the your like unique value is actually different or now same for what it was before. And that happened to me basically. I think one of the best performing pages recently is not performing well anymore, just because it's not like new or like fresh. Competitors basically upgraded their messaging, their pages. They released a hell of number of like new blog articles, and they are now listed above my article. So that's like a constant work again, right? So it's not basically set in stone. So it's continuous. Like ChatGPT is evolving, and you need to evolve too. Okay. I think that was the last question, Sam. Or do we? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we'll have some extra time at the end of the session to ask some questions. If you want to mix your honor personally, also our LinkedIn profile, please try to like check in there, and yeah, we're able to like follow up. So yeah. So for those that didn't do the LinkedIn, that's for you. So thank you very much. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I really enjoyed this session. How many of us enjoyed this session as well? So that's the LinkedIn profile. Yeah. Really good. Let's give a round of applause one more time, please. Yeah. Fantastic. I'm going to be talking about our next event. We're having an event on the 13th of November in partnership with Venture Cafe. How many of us have heard of Venture Cafe? You have heard of it? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so please help me out. Okay, good. So I don't feel like I'm the only one that have heard of Venture Cafe. So we do pitch competitions regularly. So if you're a startup founder, want to like put yourself out there and want to share what you're doing with the world, there's an opportunity to register for this event. You get to pitch your startup to Tokyo. What it means is that they're taking the winners, to a Tokyo event. A Tokyo like a tour of
like a trade mission.
Yeah, like a trade mission. Yeah.
To the Japanese government, to a few VCs. They get 400 odd people attending their events at King's Cross every Thursday, typically. So it's a really cool concept. It started in Boston and has just landed in the UK. So it's quite exciting.
Yeah, really cool crowd. So you'll definitely enjoy it. I'm going to put it in the newsletter, in the next newsletter going out, so you also get a wind of it. We also have other events coming up before putting to networking and drinks. The other events we have an event with media partners. We brought in some media partner called. I don't know if anyone ever heard of a company called TechRound. TechRound. You've ever read any article from TechRound? Yeah.
It's a media, guys, that also helps rank
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. So in case you didn't see it on a list, but you can add it to your list. Yeah, TechRound. So we're doing an event in partnership with TechRound next month. Next month, right? I would say next month. So we're going to be having a CEO. I don't know, anyone heard of a company called YouLife? Oh my, YouLife. Why you? YouLife, yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a company called YouLife. It's a very big company. You can Google it. So it's the CEO is going to be on the panel. We're going to have a journalist. We're also going to have an investor, and we're also going to have a social media agency rep, somebody to talk about like social media from the social media perspective. Literally, what we're going to be talking about is how do you put yourself out there as a founder? How do you put your company out there? So we want to share perspective from different audience group. So perspective from an investor, like how do investors, how do they see your startup? How do they know that, this startup exists? How do media companies get to understand that, this company exists? Well, how do you send them signal? How do you send them updates? And also from the social media part, social media agency also talking about how do you get to sharing ideas from the social media experience. So those are the two events coming up, and literally they're founder focused, and they're events to help you boost, get more out there and get your companies to the moon. And there's also a webinar coming up. in December is going to be about, founders connecting to the Bay Area in San Francisco. So it means that if your company is at the stage where you're raising money and you're looking to like raise international money or international investment, you get to like learn what you need to do. How do you need to like, position for investors in Silicon Valley and all that. So those are amazing events, right? Right? Yeah. So we're putting all of these events together just so you get the best out of the community and also you get the best out of the year. So I think that's all for today. And up to networking and drinks. And let's give ourselves a round of applause for being a good audience. Thank you.